12 weeks. But you see, the real issue is not whether it should be 10 weeks, 12 weeks or 24 weeks. To focus on this is to miss the point. You see, abortion as a means of contraception is wrong. It is very simple. It is wrong. It is murder. So it is not actually a topic that is open for discussion. We need to educate our young people and unfortunately our adults also how to live responsible lives. Lives as the eternal God expects us, demands and even commands us to do. He gives us a choice. We have to choose to obey or to disobey. To obey or to rebel. The move to reduce the period of time to 22 or 20 weeks was refused. It was defeated. The MPs were given what they referred to as a free vote, which meant they could vote as their conscience dictated to them. This, of course, brings up another question. On other debates where they vote, don't they go by the guidance of their conscience? Or is it that they just simply have to do what they are told? Of course they have to do what they're told. Now, what are the consequences of this for us? It means that they, the MPs, are party to the legislation. Therefore, they are fully accountable for their deeds. But is this all? Does it really matter to you? Can you hear the birds outside? The blackbirds are singing outside. You might be able to hear them. But did you vote for these MPs in your elections? Of course, it's the people who voted for the MPs, and they who put them into the positions of power. Well, doesn't this make us, the people, party to these crimes? Of course it does. You see, contraception is one thing, and abortion is another matter. As I said, I'm by no means promoting a promiscuous or immoral lifestyle. I'm not doing that. I cannot do that. Fornication is sin, pure and simple. But I repeat, contraception, which is carried out by abortion, is unacceptable. A new life does not start at 12 or 20 weeks. We have to realize that it is actually living cells that merge together to form a new life. They are not dead cells. Dead cells do not divide. I believe that at the moment of conception, the spirit in man is also put into this new person that comes into existence. We have two lives literally producing one new life. Now, the brain of a 10-week-old baby in the womb cannot make decisions. However, we mentioned later on, but I'll mention it now, we are making available on our website the silent scream, an amazing video that you need to watch. It's surprising how difficult the difficulty we had in putting this up. It's available on YouTube, but I had so much trouble watching it, I thought I would also link it to the website. It took me a whole day to put up something that should take about 20 minutes. So hopefully by the time this message goes up, we'll have this video about the silent scream. And there you can see this 10, 12-year-old baby trying to get away from the implements that are being used to destroy it. It's quite astounding. Now, how would a baby know to do that when it hasn't got a brain developed, a mind developed? I believe it's because the spirit in man was actually already there and functioning in the baby. You know, in passing, I would mention that the IVF treatment for people who are sterile, where they go and implant eggs and all sorts into them, this also is problematic because, you know, several fetuses are produced and then they have to decide on which they're going to keep and which they're going to kill. So it's another very strange situation to be in. You know, barrenness, for whatever reason, is not a blessing. But we should accept it for whatever cause and get on with our lives. See, all life comes from God. John 6:33. For the bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world. John 14:6. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Acts 17:24. God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Verse 25. Neither is worshipped with men's hands, as though he needed anything, seeing he giveth life to all, and breath and all things. So it's telling us quite clearly there that it is God who gives life and breath to all things. Therefore, we have not got the authority to take the life and breath of a human being, whether it is 10 weeks old or 80 years old. You know, it is true that in Genesis chapter 1, Adam and Eve were told to increase and multiply, to be fruitful. You find that in Genesis 1 and verses 27 and 28. But you know, we are now 6,000 years down the line. Now we have over 7 billion people on the earth. And at the time of the New Testament, you know, Paul makes it clear that we should be able to provide for our families. And if we do not do that, we are worse than an infidel. If we can't provide for our families, we shouldn't have children in the first place. We shouldn't be expecting the government, the neighbors, or some charity to look after us. I know some people can fall on hard times. That's not what I'm speaking about. 1 Timothy 5:8, but if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith, and is worse than an infidel. Sherry Blair, the former Prime Minister's wife, wrote a book called Speaking for Myself, and she said that she could be a good Roman Catholic and still use contraception. This is absolutely true. Sherry Blair can be a good person and still use contraception. She can be of any religion or no religion and still use contraception and be a good person.